Hi, I'm Chris Cheney, and welcome to week 3 of my journey through the Milan Art Institute Mastery Program. This video is going to be in 2 parts because this week we're doing a still life drawing in charcoal, and we're also doing an oil painting. And normally with the lessons you kind of go back and forth between 2 projects, but because I had to have the still life set up where I normally have my palette and I'm working on my easel, I kind of just had to do the whole still life in one go and video this, and then I'll move on to the oil painting. So this is it. It's cardboard boxes and an object, and the goal of this was to be able to draw and articulate plane shifts and the way light hits different planes. And so basically what you can see here from this drawing is normally when you're doing a drawing you would flesh it out. So you'd have lines, 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 and that's how we started. So we draw lines around the box, and then gradually as you work the lights and the darks in, the lines actually disappear. And what defines the shape of the box is the light hitting it. So there was a light on the top, but then not on the side. And on here, there's a lid. This is the lid, and then this is the side of the box. But they're the same hue, or the same value, because that's actually how it looked. So you couldn't necessarily see where the lid ended and the side of the box began. So there's no line to delineate that. So anyway, so this is it. It's pretty traditional art school exercise. I did a lot of this in art school. I actually did oil paintings of cardboard boxes, which is fun, I guess. Anyway, so stay tuned for part 2 with the oil painting. Thanks. Okay, magic time warp. All right, this is the second half of week 3. So after the cardboard boxes, then we tried to take what we learned about plane shifts and apply it to a face. So you can see on her cheek that I actually drew in the plane shifts that happen as we go around the cheek. You imagine it, instead of it being rounded, you imagine it as a series of flat planes. So this is a charcoal drawing, and then we did it in full color in oil paints. And you'll see on the time lapse that I didn't quite video everything, and that was because it was so hard. It was looking so ugly that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to save it. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and I didn't actually want you guys to see it in its ugly face, which is a big thing that the Milans talk about, is that, and the habit that they're trying to break out of us is that, yeah, it's pretty much going to be ugly right up until the end. So there's definitely some things that I like about this piece. I think I'm going to work on it a little bit more. But this is where we're at week 3. There's a break coming up in week 5, and then I think what I'll do is I'll go back to all my paintings and just give them a once over. I've started with the group mentoring, so I've been getting feedbacks on these paintings, and then during the break I'll sort of take that feedback on board and redo it. Well, not redo it, but do some little touch-ups. This was a lot. So you're working with the cool and warm, so you've got to make sure that it's not just the background now that's cool, but it's also, you know, certain parts of the face that are further behind. And then as you get to the front of the nose, you're working in warms. And so every level of the face is a different sort of blend of cool and warm. And then you've got the hue. So this is, you're trying to mix flesh tones, but this reference photo was really, I was drawn to it because it was like blue and red and purple. So she had a red light on this side and a blue light on this side. So I was trying to capture that. And then you've got the light and the dark. So how do you describe the form? And you're supposed to have one brush stroke for each different plane on the face, but it was really hard not to blend it. And it was hard to get the light and the dark, right? Like this is quite, you know, way too light for sort of what's next to it. So I wasn't able to get it kind of incrementally lighter as it comes around the form. So it's interesting. So that's that. That's the end of week 3. And we'll see what happens in week 4. Each week seems to be getting harder and more uncomfortable. So we'll see what week 4 brings. All right, thank you. Have a good week.